Okay, so my topic will be Nintendo's release of the Nintendo 64 game system. First thing I will do usually is go to Google Chrome and go to Google. Google's just easy, it's fast, and it's uh, it's usually pretty reliable. Um, I'll type in Nintendo 64 because that is what I will be researching. Okay. We have some links, and the first one's Wikipedia, which I usually never go to because it's not always a credible source and it's very risky. Um, this one's about selling Nintendo 64s, so most of these websites are about the purchase of the Nintendo 64. So let's change my search to Nintendo 64 history. Okay. Now there's a few websites that come up. We still want to stay away from Wikipedia. Let's go to the official Nintendo website. Okay, so there's company history, which talks about how when it was introduced, how many units were sold. Okay, when researching, I will usually pull up a Word document and write out the important information and facts that I get from it. Do you want me to do that? Write it all out. Okay, so 1985, and right now I'm just writing out the information that I found on their website. Okay, they began talking about the very more popular games that made the console a success. Let's see, like Mario, of course. And I'm just writing that out now. And usually when I go to websites like this, copy and I will copy and paste the URL into my Word document so that I don't forget where I got the information from, so that I can go back and cite later if need be. So, see. Okay. Now, okay. And then the rest of this website is about other Nintendo game systems, so this isn't going to work anymore. So I'm going to go back to the original Google search and look for a different website. And really I just kind of look for a URL or a website name that sounds credible. So, for example, electronics.howstuffworks.com would not work for that because it just doesn't sound like a very credible source for finding information. Let's see. Sometimes if I can't find a lot of information, I'll go to Wikipedia, and then I'll scroll to the bottom where Wikipedia's sources are, and I will go to one of those. So usually Wikipedia lists the sources that it gets its information from. It's loading. Yeah, it's kind of just sitting there. The top one. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we're on Wikipedia now, and I'm gonna scroll to the bottom. Um, let's see. These are all the references. Um, there's not many great ones that I can see right off the bat. um, hmm. Okay, so I'm not really liking any of the Wikipedia sources, so I'm just gonna go back, and then I see that there's a nintendo.wikia.com, um, which I believe is not Wikipedia, so it could be fairly credible, which I always keep in mind that it might not be. And it seems to have a lot of good information that I'm looking for. So you can go to the history tab, and it says the date and what the game console was originally called before it was released. So I'll put that in my notes. And when I'm researching, I usually go through a list of the who, what, when, why, where, and how questions in my head and kind of find information relating to those. But that's usually, I don't really write that out. I just kind of think of it as I go. Um, let's see. So Nintendo. Now it's talking about how Nintendo was partnering with different companies. Um, and I'm just writing that out now. Okay. Um, there's a list of games that came out for it. And then this talks about how it was made. It's good information. Let's see. Okay. And then again, I'm going to copy and paste the web URL so I can go back later. Alright, now I'm gonna try and Google something more specific about it because the general N64 history wasn't coming up with enough exact information that I was looking for. So let's Google Nintendo developer, which that should bring me to developer. It's another Wikipedia that I'm going to try and stay away from. Okay, so on Nintendo's website, they actually have a good bit about the developing company. Um, they have history, and then there's a bunch of information about the history of Nintendo and the games they've made and everything. So let's put some of that information down. All right. In there, I was just writing down how the NES was what made Nintendo a big company. Made it. What did I say? It kind of grew the business. And this talks about there's the N64, and this says that so the Mario game that came out with the Nintendo 64 um, was a really big hit because it showed the amazing graphics and gameplay that hasn't really been popularized yet. Mario 64. And the rest of this is about other game systems that Nintendo's come out with, so that's not really going to help me. I'm going to copy and paste the URL. I'm going to see what else is on the Nintendo website because that seems to be doing the best for me right now. And I'm just searching their website now for Nintendo 64, see if there's any other information that I'm not missing. It doesn't seem to be. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna leave this website now. Let's look for the sales. Let's see how the Nintendo did in sales for the 64. Wikipedia articles. Okay. Just 64. All right. Let's see. It's taking me back to the game's website. So I must have missed something, but Google brought me back to it. It says that there were 32 million sales in total. So let's put that in my notes.